Zimbabwe's gone. I remain obese. Yeah, our country's now mess. But I was singing shout. Can a country be this fearful? Can we not say or do something? Can a country be dragged down by a few politicians? Yeah. Can a country be looted like this and citizens watch from a distance? Where is the young Zimbabweans? Where is the IU? Arise, Zimbabwe, the youth arise. Arise, you two teachers, doctors and nurses. Arise, 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 arise. Okay, answer me now. When you see all the unemployment, the pain, the crime in the ghetto, does it not show you something is wrong? Evil government. As a 30-year-old still living with parents, uncomfortable. Have you lost faith? Young people wake up and take back Zimbabwe. Hear me again from Harare to Victoria Falls. The suffering is the same, of course, caused by the same looting government. How long do you wanna lament? Hey, the government is not stronger, not even stronger than people.
Zimbabwe's gone.
Revolution.
We need a revolution.
Hear me now. Hey, this government dishes out vehicles.
This government dishes out vehicles. Every month, yet hospitals are getting nothing.
We betraying ourselves in quietness.
We betraying ourselves in quietness or brokenness.
If we don't rise up,
Zimbabwe is gone. The mafia is planned to 2030. What a beautiful song.
Shame on us, Zimbabwe.
Shame on us, the people of Zimbabwe.
Tormented and brutalized by few criminals with
what a beautiful song. Dedicated, how many are we, Zimbabweans? Let's rise and realize we need our country. We need our country back. When we ask hospitals, they say,
schools are empty yet they renovate great.
Listen to what they say.
Is a revolution. Can a country be this fearful?
Definitely all what we want is a revolution. Zimbabwe is gone. Mama, answer me.
Can a country be looted like this and citizens watch from
Can a country be looted like this? All citizens are watching. Where's the young Zimbabweans? Where are you?
Arise, you two teachers, doctors and nurses.
Arise, you two teachers, doctors, prison officers. Arise, arise. We need to remove the Zimbabwe government now. Tulani Mpof, how are you? Archford.
Can we be useful?
Can we be useful? We have got a country. We have got a nation. Zimbabweans, can we arise? So that I can respect you, Zimbabweans. Shepherd Yuda back, alive on Facebook. As promised, remember, I promise you that probably soon after my operation, when feeling much better, I'll be start jogging, coming back live on Facebook, where we discuss what is happening in our country, what is happening with Zimbabwe. We have got quite a number of things that we need to discuss. A lot of things that when I was not here, a lot of things happened that Zimbabweans were being starved of. They were not given this chance of coming to live on Facebook to listen to the sense what is happening in Zimbabwe currently. I've been asked by a lot of people ringing me, wishing me all the best, Shepherd, after my operation. Guys, I'm feeling much better. Thank you for your wishes to say Mkoma Yuda Musafa. You know, when you're going for things like operation, you are made to sleep. Some people don't wake up. But God found it worth to say, yeah, you wake up. People of Zimbabwe wants you. People of Zimbabwe needs you. They need to understand what is really happening in our country, in Zimbabwe. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's share these lives on Facebook. We have begun the journey to liberate our country. A very beautiful song from my young brother. You have listened to it. Where are you, young Zimbabweans? Can you rise? Can you rise up? When they say can you rise up, is to mean can we claim our country back? Because hey, I've been receiving calls and calls. And how are you doing? Elton Store, I am well, my brother. Trying to be strong, you know, after going under a knife, a lot of things happens. So probably I didn't want to come to bother the people of Zimbabwe last time to say, guys, look, I'm not feeling well. Definitely, I wasn't well. Then I went under a knife to correct certain things. Probably I'll be fine from there. But I am over the moon to say the operation was successful. Thanks to Mkoma Patson Muzua, Patson Chikara, Muzua, let me, something not right. I think I need to, come on. Hey, get organized, man, Shapiro. Ayuda, namwenesu mugwenzi. Magwenzi, zviri kufamba ere mwana wamai. So ndopatiri nhasi ndachiti receive messages from all walks of lives. People were calling, some were sending messages to say get well. But guess what? Some didn't say get well, Shepherd, but they were talking about the Antananarivo. Something has happened in Antananarivo, Madagascar, the capital seat of Madagascar, where the president said Sunday morning that an attempted illegal and forcible seizure of power is underway. To them, dictators, they don't see that people are reclaiming their country back. They think it's a forcible removal. It's not a forcible removal. Look back, reflect what you have done for the people of Antananarivo or the people of Madagascar. Avapengi vanhu Madagascar ngomuka voti havachakudi. Pane reason, very strong reason that the people will reclaim their country. Let's share these lives on Facebook. Tell the audience, tell Zimbabweans that Mkoma Shepherd is back with a bang. That's Zoka, guys. That's Zoka. With a bang. Hans, brother, how are you this evening? Bruce, I am well. Chieza Masia, Jirukufamba Redia, Shapiro. We are missing, brother. Come on. Yes, I know. Joao, I know. I am back live on Facebook full time. I know you guys miss me a lot. I understand I've been out for quite a lot due to health conditions that are beyond my control. You know, when you are not feeling well, when you are told that you are likely to die from this operation, from that. So, John, achimwene, muli bwanji inetu, inendele bwino, bwanji kumeneko jo, sisi manamo, zhiru kufambare, chiedza, hawadzokaje. Saka ndrukutaura, kuti instead of people wishing me the best with Mkoma Shapiro kwa murikuenda ukau. We wish you the best. Vanhu vangu vachindifonera vachinditaurira about what is happening in Madagascar. Beautiful song came from my brother to say, Mkoma Shepherd, I am commemorating you. Hanzi ngatinakirwei nezvamuri kuita naye. Saka ndangoti regai ndimboplaya aka.
And denying our faces, the government is an abomination. I swear, my brother, no respect for humanity. Fake pastor who do not know God are made ambassadors to smuggle gold. Charlatans like a ransom. Uber devil, nothing angelic about him. J Israel and crew, criminals with a Bible fake prayer so they can
Criminals,
fool the regime.
fool the regime.
Oh, shameless musicians like Japresa, Olivia Gospel Mafia. You have no idea.
You have no idea. It's
Broken to pieces, salute ex-prison officer, Shepherd in you. Zimai, gift to Salos, I forget contact.
As they salute the prison officer, Shepherd Yudanai. Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Kune vari kurangarira vari kunza beautiful song. Hanzi, let's salute the prison officer Shepherd Yuda, guys, kana ndiwe inzwai apa, inzwai apa.
Broken to pieces, salute ex-prison officer, shepherding Yuda. Zimai, give to
Zimai.
I forget.
Hands got salute him, Koma Shepherd Yuda, the former prison officer, for standing against this evil regime. Shame. That's shame to gospel mafias, shame to the singer Ja Praiser. Tinashe maponga. Anza chimwene mulibwanji ife kuno tilibwino. So it's a beautiful song dedicating the salute to Ngoma Shepherd Yuda. I understand the Zimbabweans, they wish me well. Nobody wants Shepherd to die. Guys, let's hope I'll be with you for quite some time whilst we mobilize each other. It's time to remove Emmerson Mnangagwa's government. This is the time or never. I don't know, you guys, what do you think? What has been happening in Madagascar, where the president was crying this morning that there was a coup underway in that African nation. He did not give us details of how that was gonna happen, but he said there is an elite troop, the Cape Sat. A light troop in Cape Sat, commando, that unit that helped the presidents Andra Jolina says power in 2009 coup, urged the fellow soldiers to disobey orders and back the youth-led progress which began in September 25 and posed the most serious challenge to Rajolina's rule since his re-election in 2023. Hanzi zvangofana nemauto akabvisa Robert Gabriel Mugabe vakatora vana Chiwenga vakaisa iye Emmerson Mnangagwa. The same people now are saying Mnangagwa must go. This is exactly the situation that is happening in our country. Could a coup that happened in 2009, putting this current president, who was also the chairperson of SADC, after being handed over the chairperson of SADC by Emmerson Mnangagwa. And the soldiers have seen sense. Don't bar this youth. Let them remove him. A lot of promises coming from Emmerson Mnangagwa's entourage. These elite thieves, they brought a lot of promises to say, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do for you. 10 years down the line, Mnangagwa hasn't delivered any of his promises. What we are seeing in Zimbabwe is so pathetic, ladies and gentlemen. Why can't we salute the likes of Shepherd Yuda, the likes of Zimai, Anzvana Ostalos, Kuimba Kwakanaka, kunai.
You have no idea, it's broken to pieces. Salute ex-prison officer, shepherding Yuda. Zimai, give to salutes. I forget all country is broken, stolen and torn apart.
Anzi kasonga murikunzwa kari pasi pe voice rangu ikakaka. Anzi kanoti nakidze kanoti koshe kakaimbwa nemuZimbabwean. So we say to my brother vakaita song, stay strong my brother. The hand has begun for you. People might want you dead for singing such revolutionary songs as we march towards the removal of Emmerson Mnangagwa. This is the time mukanzopata katichitaura kuti nguva yakwana yekuti vaMnangagwa vachinda havo kunozorora. This is the time, ladies and gentlemen. Kuti takavapa mukana. We cannot keep on looking. We cannot keep on watching Zimbabwe ichienda kumawere, nyika ichienda kumawere sezvairi kuita nhasi. So what I want to talk about tonight is about a document that you all guys saw circulating on social media. We are going to discuss that document. I'm trying to get the document here so that people understand where we are coming from. This document was labeled the top secret and the intelligence at risk assessment. It was leaked from the Central Intelligence Organization, although the government tried to say it's a fake document being circulated. There is no one who can sit down and author such a a very big document, and we say it has been a fake document where it spoke about the agenda of 2030, what is going to happen to the agenda of 2030. Before we venture into that agenda of 2030, toda kune vana veZimbabwe timbonzwisana kuti how much do you understand when we say Zimbabwe is a country with a constitution? What does the constitution means? And if we say Zimbabwe is a democratic country, what do we mean by that when we say Zimbabwe is a democratic country? And so do you want to be in Zimbabwe president, Mr. Yuda? If God allows, if chance given, probably I would take up the presidents of that country. But unfortunately, for the time being, we've got a very vibrant young candidate for the presidents in form of Nelson Chamisa. We haven't given him chance. We have voted for him and he neglected to defend our vote so that he can take over governance of Zimbabwe. He still has it. Sorry, pane phone yanga ichipinda. I don't know, when I'm not live on Facebook, Mukoma Deni, how are you? When I'm not live on Facebook, people don't call me, people don't phone me. Once I start going live on Facebook to tell Zimbabweans what it is, and ndotanga ku receive mama phone calls, the whole day. Anyway, they are colleagues, they are friends, people I can't afford to ignore, trying to say, how are you feeling today since I've gone under knife on Friday? Getting much better, guys. Getting much better. And the battle later, no battle in Kumaden. So when we say demos, when we say democratic, democratic, demos or democratic, we mean rule by the people. Simple. That word simply means rule by the people. When we say democracy, we are looking at the rule by the people. Ndozvazvoreva chete, hazvina zvizukuru, hazvina zvinun'una, hazvina chi, kungoti vanhu imimi ndi munotonga nyika yenyu, rule by the people. This is what we mean by democracy. Kana chara we mean by democracy, tinenge takureva kuti as a government, we have got a constitution. Constitution iyoyo ine zvakawanda zvainopa iwewe nezvainopa inini, my rights, your rights to speak up, my rights to talk. I've got rights in our constitution, in our democratic constitution that we adopted in 2013. It gives me certain rights to talk. It gives you certain rights to talk as well. Nobody should be killed because he has been talking. Nobody should be jailed because you are talking. Na imkomangoni innocent mkazi. Zviri kufamba ere senior. Ndakanaka mwana wamai. Hanzi muconstitution mune rights ako, mune rights angu. Hakuna munhu anofana kuurayirwa kunzi sei wataura zvakati. Hakuna munhu anofana kurohwa kunzi sei wataura zvakati. Because a constitution, or another word for constitution, is supreme law. We talk about supreme law. We talk about the constitution on everyday basis. This is the aggregate or fundamental principle or established precedents. Precedents, those which are established, that constitute the legal basis of a policy, of an organization, or that type of an entity. Zimbabwe being the type of entity that we want, we are bound by the constitution. This is what we constitution. It commonly determines how Zimbabwe is to be governed. If we don't respect that constitution, we are not respecting anything else. Without respecting that constitution, we are not doing anything else. Because when these principles are written down into a single document or a set of legal documents, those documents may be said to embody a written constitution that we did in 2013. If they are encompassed in a single comprehensive document, it is said to embody a codified constitution. Tunonyora, toisa muchidocument 1 chakaita sechichi chaunosimudza kuti ichi ndo constitution. That constitution is determined by democracy. Democracy means the rule by the people, not the rule by an individual. Those are zvichireva. And I would like you to come on tweets and tell people what a system is and how it works. Ndinouya mkomadan, ndinouya my brother. So this is all about the introduction of today's presentation. We are talking about a constitution, what it is in the terms that Zimbabweans understand. So for all of us, constitution, it gives you rights to the Zimbabwe citizen. For you to be called a citizen of Zimbabwe, it is determined in the constitution. The constitution states who is the citizen of Zimbabwe. Like they are or have right to remain citizens of Zimbabwe, have got rights to remain or speak anything. If you are a citizen of Zimbabwe, our constitution gives you rights to speak on anything that touches Zimbabwe and say anything you want as a citizen of that country. Ndinoda kuti introduction kuti munzwisise kuti kwataka kuzoenda kunotaurawo hatisi kupara mhosva. We are not committing a crime. I am given this right to speak of anything about Zimbabwe by the constitution of that country as a citizen of that country. And there are many more rights that are being provided by the Zimbabwe constitution to you, to me, to whoever is a Zimbabwean. So if those rights are breached, we have got the right as well to defend the constitution at any cost. I can defend the constitution of Zimbabwe with my blood. I can defend the constitution of my blood or of my country with anything that I have. Even if people say, let's contribute to defend the constitution, let's contribute and defend the 2013 constitution that we authored as Zimbabweans. So at any cost, Zimbabweans must defend their constitution. This talk of 2030 nonsense has got nothing to do with the constitution of the country. This is a political mafia, a political organization. Vanagarwe, they have got no idea what the constitution of the country says. It says 2 terms for a president. You stole the first term, you stole the second term. 2 terms you need to stop. Any talk beyond 2030, any talk beyond 2028 means Zimbabweans must rise up now, because we have got individuals who are bent to breach the constitution. If we allow them to continue talking that nonsense and unconstitutional talk, they must be stopped. We must nick the bud early and in the morning, because there is nowhere Zimbabweans can sit and watch whilst these people are tramping on our rights. Talk of anything like 2030, which is not supported by our constitution. It must be said to be treason. It must be treason, because some people are committing treason. Tikatarisa Vanagaro, they are committing treason. They are in the governing board, but not talking about what the constitution says. They are starting talking nonsense about 2030. What is that 2030 to do with our country? A Zimbabwe that has got a constitution. Where we see those threats, this is when we urge our brothers in the army, our brothers in the uniformed forces to say, this is time to rise up, guys. Look what has happened in Madagascar, where the constitution is breached. The army has got the right to intervene to defend the constitution of a country. It's like they are defending against the foreign invasion of a country. When a country is invaded by foreigners like the Chinese coming, shooting, killing Zimbabweans in our country, it's war. China has declared war against the Zimbabweans. Let me be honest with you. The Chinese have declared war against the people of Zimbabwe. When you see a foreign entourage coming to your country, using guns against you, killing you, then those foreigners declared war. I still remember reading history about the pioneer column about what? When they came to that country we call Zimbabwe today. People resisted, people fought them, they used guns, they used this, and the war never stopped until the British puppets were defeated, probably in 1980. 100 years or so of fighting this system which invaded our country, and we eventually managed to overthrow that government. So allowing the Chinese to come in our country armed with pistols, armed with guns, shooting and killing us, that is not constitutional. It's a war declared against the people of Zimbabwe. So the people of Zimbabwe must rise up. They must stand up. They must defend themselves. Failure to defend ourselves, the country will be taken over by the Chinese. Why the Chinese feel comfortable in killing you in your country without any repercussions? It's because Emerson Mnangagwa's government, it went to China and borrowed Chinese money. They've got a debt that has tied them to the Chinese. So the agreement is they are coming to Zimbabwe to do mining, to mine anything they want. This is why they've got powers to come and shoot and kill you, dump you in a disused mine. My brother, how are you? Alfred Zunz, Zvirufamba, Zvigananda ngazvibai, Shuatanita. Saka, this is the opportunity why Zimbabweans must remove Emerson Mnangagwa government. It's because we are sick and tired of being killed by the Chinese, being murdered on daily basis. We saw videos where Chinese were firing at Zimbabweans for demanding a salary. You employ me, you don't want to pay me. When I come to you and say, please, can I have my money? And then you take a pistol, you shoot me. You kill me, you dump me elsewhere. And the Zimbabweans are just quiet. You know, by now, I expect that country to be in chaos after we have seen those shootings, those killings in our country. And by the way, the British were not defeated. That war was negotiated to the end. Thank you, Mkoma Advocacy Makudo. Why I'm saying they were defeated is because the war intensified. They came to an agreement to say, if we don't agree now, terrorism will continue in that country and the few remaining whites will be wiped out. So there was no need of them to resist, to go down on the negotiating table and end the war and secure the lives of the few whites who remained in that country. This is why we use, they were defeated. Because if you see people agreeing, because Ian Smith had said never in a million years, never in 1,000 years, for black people to rule themselves. He had denied us self-rule, to say, you will never in 1,000 years rule yourselves as long as I'm alive. But people intensified the fight. People made sure that all roads, explosives were planted in all roads. Zimbambaira, zvakajarwa road dzese kuti kwakusafambike kumaruzevha. Puma yakada kuenda kwaza bubum yaputika puma futi dzorira vachipfurwa vachipera. Saka you will find kuti hondo yakanga yasvika, the intensity of war during that time, it was ripe for people to sit and negotiate for a settlement and end that war. But did the sorry guys, war ended, and we never thought that one day in our lifetime we will see the Chinese coming to our country, armed with pistols, shooting shooting Zimbabweans, killing Zimbabweans, and the government not acting. We recently saw Chinese who were doing drugs, hard drugs, cocaine for that matter. They were arrested and they were fined $150 each for having cocaine in our country. Go to China and be found with a a sachet of cocaine. That is death sentence in China. But in Zimbabwe, it's $150 fine for a Chinese to be found with cocaine. So we are saying, with that type of injustice in our country, Zimbabweans must rise up. We must stop Emerson Mnangagwa. We must nick him in the bud. We must stop him now. Because if we don't stop him now, that's the end of that country. That country is gone. That country is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Sakamaona ndauya nhasi, no, let's talk about what is happening. What is happening in Zimbabwe. Any talk of the Agenda 2030 is nonsense. Because recently there is a document, top secret, which leaked to the people of Zimbabwe. That document, unfortunately, I did not manage to read it all, but the small portion that I've read, I saw it worth to share with you, Zimbabweans, so that you understand why ZANU-PF must go today, not tomorrow. Why ZANU-PF must go today, not tomorrow. ZANU-PF must go today, not tomorrow. So there are a lot of reasons why. I'm going to look into certain elements in that document, which I believe Zimbabweans have been concerned for a while, but vasingazivi vamwe vanhu mazimbabweans havanatomborona document randikutaura nezvazvo. It circulated on WhatsApp. It was leaked from the Central Intelligence Organization, and it was embroiled in red to say top secret intelligence at risk assessment. It was talking about Taguire's alleged crimes, which are under investigation. Crime at Taguire Kutanga, they were talking about the command agriculture. On that command agriculture, they were talking about weaponizing hunger for profit. When Zimbabweans are crying, we are hungry. Talking to their government, we are hungry. And someone is capitalizing on the country's hunger for profit, making billions out of your hunger. The monies that are supposed to feed you are going into someone's pockets, and the Zimbabweans are doing nothing about it. So this is why I'm saying about $3 billion fraud that was perpetrated by the Taguire cabal, by Emerson Mnangagwa's cabal, 3 billion on command agriculture. This is why we are saying Zimbabweans must remove Mnangagwa and his government now, not to wait for tomorrow. Taguire has got a company that he calls Sakunda Holdings, which secured a non-bid monopoly. You know, you don't bid for anything. You are just given contracts. So he has got that company, you know, Sakunda Holding. It has got a non-bid monopoly. It does not bid for anything. They just receive it on a silver platter over Zimbabwe's, especially Command Agriculture Program. This was a scheme that was meant to boost food in our country, food security. Hanzi kwadakuona chinopa kuti nyika ite hondo inzara. Ukaona nyika ine nzara, hondo hadzipere munyika imomo. Endai kuna Somalia, kwaikurwiwa, onde kuna Ethiopia. Kwamona nyika ita nzara chete, people begin to think. Ndofunga maZimbabweans vari kuguta, ndosaka uri kuona vasiri kuda kubvisa chihurumende chembavha ichi. Because kana mune nzara chaichai kunyatsoona kuti vanhu vari kuziya nenzara, maZimbabweans munosimuka. Saka you find that we lost 3 billion to Taguire on command agriculture because he has got a non-bidding monopoly over anything that our country offers. And he cropped, his wings were spread even in the food security of the nation. Instead, it became a cash cow, that command agriculture, for Taguire and his Gananda. If you go to Zimbabwe, there is this word now being used about these Ganandas at the expense of every Zimbabwean, at the expense of the people of Zimbabwe. You are starving. You have got no jobs. You have got no hospitals. You have got no clean drinking water. Sewages are everywhere. We don't even own a national stadium to play our national games. Our national team plays in a foreign land, not in our country. Sometimes, not what's one got a Zimbabwe national squad ichitamba in an empty stadium where it is supposed to be watched by 60,000 plus people back home. But people can't travel to South Africa to go and support Zimbabwe. Where's the money for those stadiums gone to? It has gone into Taguirei's pocket. The government diverted the resources into command agriculture, gave the Secunda Holdings that non-bidding monopoly. They just received money and money and money. Almost 3 billion got lost to Taguirei. The money is in the hands of Taguirei. So, and his Zigananda. So if you look at it, why the people of Zimbabwe must be concerned? Because Taguirei and his company plus Gananda, they have become the cash cow. They've become the cash cow at the expense of Zimbabweans. Marvelous. So if you look at them, this command agriculture, it created ghost inputs. It created fake invoices. If you look at parliamentary audits of 2018 to 2020, those audits revealed Secunda invoiced the state for fertilizer, invoiced the state for seeds and equipment which were never delivered. Farmers in almost every part of Zimbabwe, they received rotten seeds and empty promises. Nothing grew, and the Zimbabweans are starving. This is the Secunda Holding, creating ghost inputs, creating fake invoices, did not even supply anything they promised from equipment to seeds. Instead, vaenda kuzvima warehouse zvavo vachinotora zvimbeu, ngotora mbeu chibage chakaora kwakuisa kala yakaita green, kwakutosonerera, kwakunopa vanhu kunodyara kuona chibage hachisi kubuda, hamuna mbeu yacho. Chibage chaimudura chakatorwa chikangopendwa green chikaiswa chikanisoko nzou chii hapana chakabuda. People are starving. Command agriculture is a fraud that Taguirei perpetrated on the country. We look at forex arbitrage. Taguirei obtained his monies in cash in United States dollars at the official exchange rate. One bond is equivalent to $1. Also, he went into the streets, akatora zvimabonds zvese zviya, akauya nazvo, akazvitengesa kuRBZ, akawaipa all the monies, the US dollars, the forex in the United States dollars, and put it in his pocket. That was fraud, where $1 US was equivalent to 1 bond. And Taguirei ensured that all the US dollar reserves which were in the RBZ came to his pocket. And he sold my farm inputs at a higher black market. And my farm inputs, I tengeswa at higher black markets. My prices ake. And he retained the big profit margin, which is fraud. That is under investigation. That should be nailed per billboard so that every Zimbabwean can read. When we say, let's remove the government of Emmerson Mnangagwa, this is what we are looking at. We are looking at, let's look back at US sanctions. Kuti muna 2020, America Treasury sanctioned Taguirei for corruption. akapuwa ma-sanctions neamerica treasury for corruption, corrupt economic activities. Vakatarisa vakaona vakati maiwe kumari yenyika yese zvari kungoenda nemunhu 1 necorruption. Mvura hakuna, magetsi hakuna, zvipatara hakuna, vanhu vari kufa mumarodhi nemaaccidents, rodhi dzacho hakuna, mari yese iri kuenda naTagure. So they tried to, they looked at even the command agriculture vakaona kuti no iimbafa. So they put him under sanctions because of economic sabotage, calling him a beneficiary of government corruption. And is it true kuti ave under house arrest? I'm not sure, Mukoma Shon. I am not sure, because if he was under house arrest, they are still in power. Mnangagwa is still in power. Although a few days from now, Mnangagwa will be history. The problem is, that so under house arrest, he could have easily sneaked out of that country using Chivayo's private plane. They've got private planes. They can fly outside Zimbabwe without being detected. And it's on. Saka trukutarisa kuti vatagwirei pachezvavo. Nesakunda Holdings. Vaitanga vaikreata ma-ghost inputs, vachicreata ma-fake invoices, vakaita yatinoti yo forex arbitrage, vakaiswa pama-sanctions, nenyika dzaiona kuti munhu is a saboteur in terms of destroying Zimbabwe's economy. From there, we look at cartels and economic sabotage. Could the same people, vakaita inonzi command energy scam. That command energy scam, Sakunda akanga on top of that. Sakunda's stranglehold on fuel inputs. Ndiye I wanna zema fuel imports. Allowed Tagure to create artificial shortages. Kuita kunge kusina ne fuel yacho. Iye akahodha fuel, akachengeta fuel. Kuti vanhu pavanochema paipe otanga kutengesa fuel neforex. Oita mari, bozi yakanga iri 1-to-1. Saka anga asikade mabond, either fuel and forex. He manipulated our prices. During the 2019 crisis, man, fuel meant for public stations was delivered to illegal markets, with the Sakunda profiting from the desperation of the people of Zimbabwe. Guys, mnozvaga kana izvi zvikasakupa hasha yekuti vatagwirei kana kuti hurumende yaMnangagwa must be removed now. Ameno kuti hasha dzacho muchazodziwanepi. Ndinoshamisika kuti hasha muchadziwanepi if you don't have hasha nezvandataura so far. Ndisati ndaenda kure, mukashaya hasha handizivi kuti hasha muchazodziwanepi wakomana. Handizivi kuti hasha muchazodziwanepi. I don't know where kwamuchawana hasha kana muchahodha kupi hasha. Hanziko nemukoma wangu Alex Zenda. Hanzi come back home mese muri ikoko tibatsirane nyika inake. Ndimi mozviti mainjiniya itaiti nyika inake wana mukoma Zenda. Itaiti nyika inake because
Mama,
yeah, mama.
Zimbabwe's gone.
Zimbabwe's gone.
I remain obedient. They are countries now, man. But I was singing shy. Can a country be this fearful? Can we not say or do some? Can a country be drowned by a few politicians? Yeah. Can a country be looted like this and citizens watch from a distance? Where is the young Zimbabweans? Where is the youth? Arise, Zimbabwe, the youth arise. Arise, you two teachers, doctors and nurses. Arise, 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 arise. Okay, answer me now. When you see all the unemployment, the pain, the crime in the ghetto, does it not show you something is wrong? Evil government. As a 30-year-old still living with parents, uncomfortable, have you lost faith? Young people wake up and take back Zimbabwe. Hear me again from Harare to Victoria Falls. The suffering is the same, of course, caused by the same looting government. How long do you wanna lament? The government is not stronger, not even stronger than people. We need a revolution.
Arise, Zimbabweans, arise, youth. Where are you? Whilst the country is suffering, why can't you rise up? nice song from one of our best musicians, and I need to protect him. Song it is on demand. Song you just come to my WhatsApp and say, hi, Mkoma Shepherd Judah, can I have those songs you were playing during live on Facebook, where I am talking about this subject we call Kudata Gwire and his criminal syndicate. Their criminal syndicate, their unfolding impact on Zimbabwe and its politics. We are looking at a document that was leaked, which was dated 5th of June 2025. A source of that document, it is a classification, intelligence, top secret intelligence and risk assessment. Multiple sources have been consulted for the final document that leaked, and it has been disseminated. We are looking into that document. Vakaripotsa document iroro munongouyawo moti Mkoma Shepherd tipewo zvamamuchitaura ndokupai. Handisi leader ari stingy in terms of information. Ndinokupai information yamunoda vana veZimbabwe, because there was if you read the document, there is an executive summary on it where Kudakwa Gwire is the subject of that. Zimbabwe's most notorious oligarch has built a criminal syndicate of politically connected and protected looters who now stand accused of orchestrating the greatest haste against the Zimbabwe people. Remember, in November 2017, when Robert Gabriel Mugabe was removed, as Mdara tried to research about it thoroughly, it's like Pama one. I will look into it. I've got resources anyway. I can ring and find out. As at least some guys song in the Mkoma Yuda, just come to my WhatsApp on 07411777466. Nokpai my songs. Iwaya, I'm ready. I'm great. I'm ready to share them. Chero munarikuda my songs. Iwaya, just come to my inbox. Nok forward dry. Manzi yakabikwa zvine unyanzvi. And I salute prison officer Shepherd Judah for standing against this regime. When we removed Robert Mugabe, we were talking about protected looters around Mugabe, thieves that surrounded Robert Mugabe, which led to the removal of Mugabe. Kuchuya Emerson Dambutso Mnangagwa. Apana aimbofungira kuti what we are witnessing nemasweda kuti munhu akazunza magara anotengerwa motikari. People never thought that would happen in our country, and it is happening now because they are protected looters who now stand accused of orchestrating the greatest haste against the people of Zimbabwe since independence. Atsatamboona kuba kwakadai, atsatamboona looting yakadai. There is another document that I will discuss later on. But documents pari kubuda. Hurumende iri kumaramba kuti hazvisi, but we know this is exactly what is happening in our country, what is happening in Zimbabwe. Hanzi ndipo kakuinbox masongs waya aripo for you guys. Don't worry. These songs are made for you. You need to spread them all over the country. When I'm coming, I talk by manzi. Resign mamotikari menyu kuti vanhu vazive kuti Zimbabwe is gone. So since independence, this is the worst haste against the people of Zimbabwe that we have witnessed in our lifetime. We never thought that this will happen in our lifetime. So they have stolen approximately 7 billion since the removal of Robert Mugabe. Gananda have stolen about 7 billion since Mugabe has been removed. And now, as the public anger, Zimbabwe, it has reached a crescendo and potential political transition brew. Anzi Tagwire is attempting to brazen state and ZANU-PF capture, being driven by massive bribery of the key people. The soldiers got GD6s, they got 100,000 each on top of those cars. That's a bribery that they think if we bribe the top brass of the army, then we probably stop or allow Tagwire to become president of Zimbabwe. So Tagwire and his criminal cartel are also seeking to rebrand and position himself as a presidential hopeful. He wants to be president of that country. And Emerson Mnangagwa has blessed Tagwire to become president of that country. This is why there is this talk of 2030 nonsense, so that Tagwire can protect their loot. So they are positioning themselves for the hopeful or presidential hopeful and take over power under the 23rd agenda. This agenda or this nonsense that seeks to violate the Zimbabwe constitution. Sorry guys. Sezvandataura zve kuti kana uchinge wamboita maoperation zvinenge zvichinetsa, saka mondiregererawo voice randinaro harisi ndorera maiziva ramazi wese, but until ndarecover zviri fully but ndaona zvakakodzera so that we talk about this 2030 nonsense that seeks to violate the constitution of the country. That's their agenda. They want to usurp Zimbabweans' rights to elections in 2028. They're saying no elections. Garwe has been saying this time and again, going all over Zimbabwe, telling Zimbabweans that the 2028 elections are not going to be held. This is why you see they've got members of parliament supporting it. Who knows that even 2028 elections, when they try to convince people to try, please vote for me as your member of parliament, that will never happen. So they are clinging on to 2030 nonsense to get support. So they want to tear the constitution of the country for the 2030 nonsense, which Tagwire is hoping that this power grab and state capture and part capture will cloak his crimes in the guise of statesmanship. Kunzi kana aiya kunzi ndo president wenyika havachakwanisi kusungwa nenyaya yekuti vanenge vachinzi havana mhosva dzavakapara. President anzi anenge vane immunity. So what we are looking at this piece is to dismantle that Tagwire's myth making. We want to expose this alleged pillaging of approximately 7 billion that has been stolen in 10 years since Emerson Mnangagwa became president. The worst haste in our lifetime, where state coffers were drawn empty by this criminal cartel or Zigananda, and was that either a political theatrics nor Mnangagwa's complicity will spare him from justice. Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking into that and make sure that Mnangagwa's government is removed. If we don't remove Zigananda now, that means suffering continues. This government dishes out medical vacation.
Brokenness, it's useless. Better believe I say nothing will change tomorrow. If we don't rise up today, the mafia has planned to 2030. Young man is a graduate, but still get boxers from mama. Shame on us, Zimbabwe.
Shame on you, Zimbabweans.
Educated and civilized, yet tormented and brutalized by few old criminals with few guns. How many are we? Oh, let's rise, organize and realize we need this revolution today. When you ask for hospital, they say sanctions. Yet the Land Cruisers, what a coincidence. Schools are empty, yet they renovate graves. All I want is a revolution. Can a country be this fearful? Can we not say we'll do some? Can a country be drained and drowned by a few politicians? Mama, answer me.
Anzi Bama answer me, nae, Bama answer me. Anzi vanenge vachitenga Land Cruiser, vachitenga chi, vachita zvekufambisa. Iwo ukavabvunza kuti naye hatina paracetamol kuchipatara, hanzi ansa yavanenge vachikutaura kuti masanctions. Naye masanctions haamisi kutenga kwemotikari. Masanctions haamisi kuti mai wedu vakazunza magaro obva vanzi GD6 iyo mai vazunza magaro iwa. Saka ameno, ladies and gentlemen, the intelligence continues. We will be looking into this document in probably I don't think I'll be able to finish the whole document today, top secret. Patinenge tasiyira ipapo tinozongoya tichita continue naye. Ndozati vanhu vazhinji vanenge vakuda kuzonzwa the next part of it. Due to health concerns, I'm not going to take my 3 hours at Aimbotora. So I've got 20 minutes left from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. 1 hour presentation, 20 minutes left. But 20 minutes ipapo regai tite hit on the Tagwire issue. Economic mismanagement and the fraudulent issuance of treasury bills. Komananga hanzi nyika yaenda 7 billion lost so far from removal of Mugabe up to now. Hanzi mbavha dzanyatsobatana kuti iyi Zimbabwe, let's leave it empty. Hanzi kuda kwashe Tagwire is abuse of state institutions and the fraudulently issue of treasury bills resulted in the local currency collapsing, people suffering, devaluation of local currency, and as a result, these actions wiped out approximately US 4.5 million or $4.5 billion from the Zimbabwe market, causing massive losses of ordinary Zimbabweans, pension funds, hakuna kana pensions ariko, and institutions between 2019 and 2024. While Tagwire and his Gananda criminal syndicate pocketed more than US 1 billion out of the 4.5 billion. Zakaoma, ladies and gentlemen, and tikatarisa looting of 1.9 billion as well of state funds through the illegal and the fraudulent sale of shares. Anzi kune company inonzi Kuvimba Mining House. Kuda kwashe Tagwire again at the center of things, in collusion with the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Mutuli Ncube, Permanent Secretary George Guamatanga, and the former Reserve Bank Governor and now Mutapa Investment Fund CEO, Dr. John Mangudya. As these people colluded and looted about 1.9 billion of state funds through the illegal fraudulent sale of shares and Kuvimba Mining House to the government of Zimbabwe through Mutapa Investment. Vakomana. Hanzi nyika yacho inofema nepapi kana paracetamol inobva kupi? Mari yacho ichibva yangozi ikangopinda mari muhurumende yobva yatonzi naTagwire ngaiuye kwandiri. Ikangodai sonzi naMangudya ngaiuye kwandiri. Ikangodai so chete yakupinda muhomwe dzaGuamatanga. Remember, energy mutodi. Hanzi pane mboko inonzi mutodi. Vanhu vanoti mboko because mutodi unoona anobva ataura kuti Guamatanga iwe uri mbavha. Zvikanzi hanzi kutaura kwakaita kuti Guamatanga kubai mbavha. Energy mutodi ngaadzingwe kuzanu, ngaadzingwe basa. Sekudzingwa kwakamboita nguva dzaMugabe. Hanzi mafira kureva naye. Saka mazvinzwira panapa kuti Guamatanga, Tagwirei na nechimwe chacho chinonzi Mutuli Ncube chine muromo unenge womumbu. Hanzi vakarova 1.9 vakaisawo muhomwe. Nobody complained, and the Zimbabweans continue to suffer. Where are you, youth? We are just watching. We are not doing anything to better that or to stop that happening in our country. Hans got into a great dike investment. We are talking about 1.9 billion loot. Kind of great dike investment. Kusandawana mines uko. Hans grand looting of Zimbabwe, defense forces and state-owned assets ikoko. Vatagwire izve vari panyanga. Tagwire hanzi kana ukataura Tagwire takutaura Emerson Mnangagwa. We don't talk Tagwire without talking Emerson Mnangagwa. We are talking about Tagwire himself, about Emerson Mnangagwa himself. Progress Nyamande, how are you doing Muchin? Ndakasimba Muchono zviri kufamba remwana wamai. Hanzi kuda kwashe Tagwire again and the members of his criminal cartel Zigananda orchestrated and executed the stealing of 50% shareholding in Great Dike Investments, Hanzi Private Limited company, GDI Ikoko, Hanzi Platinum Mining Venture, which was owned by Penn East Mining, a vehicle representing the interests of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces and 100% of Sandawana mines, a lithium mine that was owned by Zimbabwe government by the government of Zimbabwe through ZMDC. And Tagore did not pay, nor did he pay fair value for these assets which were taken over with no proper approvals within the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. Nor were taken over with no proper approval from the Zimbabwe government, and within a period of 2 years, he sold these same assets back to the government of Zimbabwe. Anza kuna corruption inopfura ipapo kuti iwe ungotora $2 wewe uzotengesa $200. Mama answer me, mama answer me. Mama, answer me. Answer me, mama. Answer me.
Where is the young Zimbabweans?
Where's the young Zimbabweans?
Arise, Zimbabwe.
Arise.
Arise.
The youth arise.
Teachers, doctors and nurses. Arise.
Arise, arise, arise. Arise.
Oh, Mama, Zimbabwe is painful. Can we be useful in a rising?
Anza arise, mama. Nai, arise, mama, arise, arise. Ameno, kuti zviri kutaurwa nevana veZimbabwe nai. Hanzi ngati protestei. Hanzi muri kutya chini. Hana mukoma progress nyamande. Has anything come out after washing? Mr. Geza
Zimbabwe.
Songs available for you.
They call me one blow. Zimbabwe youths are nice and going with Shanky boy. Tell him man we have T1 boy. Yeah. The streets are calling. Protest, I say protest. Zimbabwe youths hear me. The time has come, the time is here. The streets are calling us, you and me. The time is now to protest. Oh, bad government out, we protest. Looting criminal ministers, made us an ambassadors, we protest. Back to the basics, constitutionally. Youths in protest. Others unemployed youths in protest. Oh, who protest, protest. Zimbabwe, it's time now. Until when my brothers and sisters, shall we watch helplessly? Until when our day youths live daily hustling for chicken feet to feed families of pensioners who got robbed of their hard labor. Years of every day will send one with no underwear. Pull away, victory or falls, the streets are calling you.
And my songs are there available for you on request, guys. As kungoti mkoma shepherd ndipe masongs amamchiriza pa live on Facebook yenyu mas ane meaning yakaipa ari kutaura nezve looting muZimbabwe achi-encourage the Zimbabwe youth to arise. Hanzi atingarambe tichitarisa nyika ichienda kwayaenda kumawere naye. Saka let's continue. I've got 12 minutes left to discuss about this. We'll continue tomorrow. I know Shapiro, but we have scaled down our live presentations to about an hour due to health problems. And shaiti 3 hours and I saka due to health problems saka ndingichita 1-on-1 1 hour tichita chipedza anzi pasina muliswa na blessing mangonzi. Saka we are talking about Tagore again this. And if you talk about Tagore, you are talking about Emerson Mnangagwa, Mnangagwa, who is the president of Zimbabwe. Hands abusing the title and office of the president in undertaking dubious presidential branded projects. Hands tingeshitaura kuti chiko. Hands Tagore awa and his criminal cabal or Gananda, they've been abusing the title and the office of the president in undertaking dubious presidential branded projects aimed at grand looting of state resources and are now using these ill-gotten gains to capture the state. ZANU-PF and the finance, they're capturing everything. The undermining of the constitution of Zimbabwe, talking about 2030, is undermining the constitution of our country and the people of Zimbabwe. Some of these schemes, my presidential projects, are like my presidential input scheme. Anzvao zvekuti vaite mari ivo kwete kuti imi mubenefit semazimbabweans tikatasa borehole drilling. These are supposed to be done by the government for the people of Zimbabwe at no political heaviness kuti inini ndikachakuchererai maboreholes imi muchazondiita president. Ikoko hanzi kana muchinge mavhotera hurumende, what is the purpose of the government? If the country has got no water, the government must provide these boreholes to supply water to the people. That is not a project that ofana kuomberera kuti hurumende yatiitira. Nenyaya yekuti mari iri kushanda ipapo imari yako iwewe yauri kucontributa kuhurumende in part of tax. Haasi maprojects ekuti hanzi president vadonata borehole. Hakuna president anodonata borehole kunyika kwake, hakuna. President makes those services available to the people. Ndosaka muchienda ku-election kuti muchavhotera munhu ane capability. We look at capability. Kuti kana zvatasvika pakadaro hatiombere maoko kuti president vadonata kana kuti president vacherera vanhu maboreholes. What is his duty if he cannot provide clean water to the people of Zimbabwe? Saka tiri kutaura chipana. Tikutaura these projects have been hijacked now nana Tagurei to make profit. Kuti vakapture ma-state institutions, kuti vanhu vafunge kuti Tagurei ndiye munhu ari kuita Zimbabwe kuti inake, saka ngatimuvhotere aite president. Handizvoba, haavhoterwe naizvozvo. Ma-presidential inputs are for the president. They are aimed to provide to the people of Zimbabwe. This is why a president is being voted into power, to make sure that those schemes are held, they are financed by the state. Mari yacho iri kubva kwauri iwewe iri kuuya kuzokupa ma-inputs iwayo. Boho iri kucherwa iro imari yako iri kuchera boho. Haasi Tagurei ari kuchera boho. Mukabata ipapapo maziva kuti chinonzi government chi. Because hakuna government inoyaitaura kuti iri kudonata a borehole kwauri. Hakuna government inopa munhu mari kuti iwewe Tagurei mari yestate chienda unodonata. Hakuna. Tagurei kana ane mabusiness aanawo ake anoita profit anofanirwa kupa mari kuhurumende, let us know. Because all we have noticed by now is non-bidding monopoly that Tagurei has, getting all the states. Anotora company ZDF oitenga $2 ogara but less than 2 years or chi odzoka kuhurumende obva ati company enda akutengesa 200 million yakatenga $2. Saka that is grand looting of state funds. Saka tikutaurayo inonzi rural goat pass on scheme. Iyoyo haisi scheme yeZANU-PF. Kana iri scheme iri pa presidential scheme is funded by the state. Apa chakuti mbavha dzakupinda this cartel kuti vaite inflate the prices, mutorerwe mari zvakangwara-ngwara. Kuna inonzi Bliss Ticket Grease scheme yekuti vari kuba mari, cotton scheme, rural hot agricultural scheme, because there community fisheries scheme, kuya rural poultry scheme, kuya fertilizer subsidy scheme, kuya grain protectoring scheme, kuya housing scheme, kuya youth empowerment scheme, kuya heifer pass on scheme, kuya solar scheme, kuya internet scheme. These are projects that the government must be issuing to the people of Zimbabwe, benefited by every Zimbabwean, regardless of political affiliation. But they've been made as cash cows for the Tagureis and the cartel. So Zimbabweans, let's wake up. Let's rise up. Zimbabwe e-passport and the border management system stealing direct from poor Zimbabweans who are desperate to have a passport. Every Zimbabwean in that country is desperate to have a passport. so that anoyambukawo kuSouth Africa onotenga masweets auye atengese achengete mhuri. But kwane e-passport scheme, it's a scam that was introduced by Zimbabwe government. Zimbabwe e-passport and the border management system, it was introduced in 2021 and was marketed as a modernization effort to improve efficiency and security in our country. Subsequently, Kudakoshi Tagwirei and his criminal syndicate hijacked this initiative just for the purpose of benefiting. Where are you, Zimbabwe youth? Anze murikupi wafana imi? Murikupi? Murikuitene zvazvo? Zvandiri kutaura izvi, hamusi kuzviziva here? Zvandiri kutaura hamusi kuzvinzwa here izvi?
Zimbabwe youths are like some going with Shanky boy. Tell him man we have T1 boy. The streets are calling. Protest, I say protest. Zimbabwe, you hear me? The time has come, the time is here. The streets are calling us, you and me. The time is now to protest. Oh, bad government out, we protest. Looting criminal ministers, made us an ambassadors, we protest. Back to the basics, constitutionally. Youths in protest. Others unemployed youths in protest. Oh, protest, protest. Zimbabwe, it's time now. Until when my brothers and sisters, shall we watch helplessly? Until when our day youths live daily hustling for chicken feet to feed families of pensioners who got robbed of their hard labor. Years of service, they will send one with no underwear. Pull away, victory or falls, the streets are calling you. Mama, help me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about e-passport. E-passport, Zimbabwe e-passport. This Zimbabwe e-passport is feeding tens of millions of United States dollars into Tagwirei's pockets and his criminal syndicate through excessive passport fees being charged to the Zimbabwean people. Anzi murukuruza ndimi, ladies and gentlemen, and contracted guys ndikuruwadziwa hanzi ndikutadza kana uda kuti zviverenge kuti zvizviri kumboitika. Excess fees per passport are being siphoned through investments through Tagwirei's bank CBZ and their company Blue Star Investment Private Limited. This company Blue Star Investment Private Limited is beneficial owned by Kudakwashi Tagwirei, Emerson Mnangagwa Jr. and their partner from Uganda, Emmanuel Kato, and his son Sini Kato, and collectively they are reaping millions of United States dollars from the Zimbabwe people through this scandal. Can we sit down, continue to look, guys? Unozari pandasvika apa ndakutonzwa kurwadziwa naye kuti chandazvitangira chii. Unonzwa wakurwadziwa mwoyo kuti nyika yobirwa kudai.
We protest, looting criminal ministers, smiles and ambassadors, we protest. Back to the basics, constitutionally, we protest. Others unemployed youths in protest. Oh, protest, protest. Zimbabwe, we stand now.
Stand now. And this time now, Zimbabweans to protest. Ameno. Kuti vagezi vari kuti kuronga vari kutirongerei. Hanzi musi wa17, 5 days to come, October, muri kunzi hanzi budai mese maZimbabweans. Hanzi budai mese nai.
All they ever do is to steal and deny our face. Their government is an abomination, I swear, my brother. No respect for humanity. Fake pastor who do not know God are made ambassadors to smuggle gold. Charlatans like a ransom. Uber devil, nothing angelic about him. J Israel and crew Criminals with a Bible fake prayer so they can fool the evil regime. Oh, shameless musicians like Jah Praiser, Olivia, Gospel Mafia. You have no idea it's broken. Broken to pieces, and Lutex prison officer, shepherd in UK. Zimbabweans, gift to salos, I forget contact. Our country is broken, stalling and torn apart. Hand in hand. How do I tell my story? The future of Zimbabwe is in a sorry state. And how do I shout for justice? Girlfriends that make ministers, corruption silenced our mouths. Yeah. Zimbabwe is broken, mama. Mama. Yeah. Can I tell you my story? Back in the day, this country was working. Listen, brother, you Zimbabwean.
Zimbabwe's broken, mama. Ndokuimba azikuimba kuno tapira 9 a minute past 9 nambetambe inoregwa ichanaka ndamirira pa e-passport kuti e-passport is feeding tens of millions of United States dollars into Tagure's pockets and his syndicate. Imagine they went on to take a Ugandan to come and help them loot Zimbabwe monies. And we need security assurance first. Pakaipa Mukoma Robi. And brother Yuda, I miss you. Thank you so much, Mukoma. Robert. Insurance, mwana wa mai, pazvakuenda apa apachadi insurance. Enzwai zvachema ku Madagascar. Anza achema because the youth of Madagascar have stood up and a youth-led protest erupted in Madagascar that forced the president of that country to flee into French embassy. And the army is trying. The army said it's not gonna stop those youth from catapulting the leader they want to be in power. And my reporters, they were there. They've seen 3 people got injured after shots were fired along a road to the Capset barracks on Sunday. Other witnesses said there was no sign of ongoing clashes in that country. But rival forces claimed to command security operations. Rival forces claimed on Sunday to have command over security operations in that country, with one group representing the Capset soldiers saying it would coordinate all branches of the military from its base on the outskirts of the capital city. And the president vaenda pa Madagascar pa. So Hans Masara Ndima Zimbabweans. The protests inspired by Comrade Giza, same as protests inspired by General Z-led movements in Kenya and Nepal, began over water and electricity shortages. We are talking about what triggers these protests. In Nepal and in Kenya, there were water shortages, electricity shortages, but they have since escalated with the demonstrations calling for the current president of Madagascar to step down because he has failed and he must apologize for the violence against the protesters, must apologize for the violence against the people of Madagascar and dissolve the Senator and Electoral Commission right now. The same that Zimbabweans are demanding: shortage of water, shortage of electricity, corruption in our country. It's clear. Hanzi munakangozunza magaro chete maiwiri akutopuwa GD6 motikari muzvipatara hamuna mushonga, hakuna mvura yekunwa yakachena, hatina magetsi, road accidents asi kupera every day. We've got narrow roads that were built by Ian Smith. The government for the past 46 years has never attempted to widen or make them a motorway or a 3-way lane so that it protects life, which is a basic right in our constitution of the country. Hanzi mangwana regaiti continue, ladies and gentlemen. Hanzi kana ndanonoka kuya totangana 8 o'clock topedzana 9. It's just 1 hour until I'm fully recovered. For tonight, regaindi, thank you so much kuneva terera. Mangwana, we continue from where we left. Tiona tarsa document irori rikurambwa neZimbabwe government. It's a fake document. Is that fake? What I've stated so far, Do you think it's fake? So we want to this is a document that is leaked of the concern security forces.
The government is an abomination. I swear, my brother, no respect for humanity. Fake pastor who do not know God are made ambassadors to smuggle gold. Charlatans like a ransom. The Uber devil, nothing angelic about him. J Israel and crew, criminals with a Bible fake prayer so they can fool the evil regime. Oh, shameless musicians like Jah Praiser, Olivia, Gospel Mafia. You have no idea, it's broken. Broken to pieces, and Lutex prison officer shepherding you. My gift to Salos, I forget contact. Our country is broken, stolen and torn apart. Hand in hand. How do I tell my story? The future of Zimbabwe is in a sorry state. And how do I shout for justice? Girlfriends are made ministers, corruption silenced our mouths. Yeah. Zimbabwe is broken, mama. Mama. Yeah. Can I tell you my story? Back in the day, this country was working. Listen, brother, you Zimbabwean.